Hello students. Now what I'm going to talk about is the tropical desert or arid type of climate. Now when I talk about tropical desert or arid type of climate, what do you mean by arid region? What is an arid region? Basically it is characterized by I can put it in simple terms, very severe lack of water. Severe lack of water, which prevents growth and development of plant and animal life. They lack vegetation. Now, suppose if I give you an example in India itself, you can take an example of Rajasthan, deserts, lot of deserts out there. So, that is basically an arid type of climate where growth and development of plant and animal life is stopped. There is no vegetation. So now we are going to try and understand what are the climatic characteristics, features and the distribution of this type of climate. Basically it's between 20 to 30 degrees latitudes, and the western coasts of all continents, large parts of Gujarat, as I said, Rajasthan, as I said, Haryana, Iran, interior parts of Asia, coastal Chile, Peru, Southwest Africa, interior of Mexico, Baja California, North Africa, Namibia, and parts of US come under this category. So let's understand what is tropical desert climate. The tropical desert is the place of extremes. It's driest and the hottest place on earth. If you all talk about Thar desert, we know that what are the characteristic features. Keep this desert in mind, and it will become very easy for you all to understand the climatic conditions and the climate also about this kind of climate. Rainfall is sporadic, and in some years there is no measurable precipitation which falls at all. There are terribly dry conditions in the desert which year around influence the subtropical high pressure continentally. This is a picture for you all to understand what is it exactly. Now this animal basically is the camel, which we know is the thorny devil. There is also coyotes, owls, ground squirrels and vultures. The tropical desert plants here is the barrel cactus we all are aware of. There are many other plants such as brittle bush, chain fruit, shola, creosote bush and the crimson hedgehog cactus. What are the facts of this? It is the hottest biome on earth. It can be well over 100 degrees during the day, but it can get down to 32 degrees at night. They are the most well-known desert animals, the camels. They are called the ship of the desert, we are well aware. And they can cross the desert better than any other animal. Now, what are the features over here? It is hottest habitat on earth. It can be over 100 degrees Fahrenheit during the day and drop below 32 degrees. This changes happen because the deserts are bare. Bare means totally empty. There's no vegetation, as I said, arid. There is little protection to keep them from heating up in the sun and cooling off when the sun disappears at night. The deserts can be sandy, stony, or covered in pebbles. The land can be flat or having rolling hills. It can have cliffs, canyons, and unique rock formations. Some of these desert students lie basically below sea level, and others rest up onto the plateaus and mountains. Now, when I talk about this arid type of climate, I want to talk to you all about, as I told you about the geographical distribution, means which all countries, places it's spread out. What are the characteristics of this basically? The summer temperatures around 30 degrees to 45 degrees. The winter temperatures are around 20 degrees to 25 degrees. What is the highest diurnal range? Diurnal range, when I talk about it, is nothing but it is basically it's talking about the daytime, how active it is during daytime. The highest daytime temperatures. Precipitation, we know, we've learnt about different forms of precipitation, so which is less than 200 millimeters. There is low or no humidity. The characteristic of this type of climate is there is no or low humidity. There are windy conditions, descending, which are at the fall, or diverging. Diverging meaning, students, which go in different directions. Circulation of subtropical highs, continental location, and there are rain shadow conditions. Now when we talk about rain shadow conditions, students, what does this mean? The mountain ranges, which we know, they block all these plant growing rainy weather. I mean, so there is loss of moisture from landscape, which results in arid conditions. What are the related features out here? The related features out here, it has xerophytic vegetation. Last lecture I told you all, what does that mean? It's drought resistant. It is usually small. There are nocturnal burrowing animals. I spoke to you all about, I showed you all some animals which are there. Badown, that's in Sahara. Bushmen, Kalahari. Aborigines, Australia. And there are saline soil. Saline is salty, little. Agriculture practiced near oases. Oases also you are well aware of. Now here basically what is the explanation given? There is concentration of deserts near both tropics. Concentration of deserts, basically there is a cluster or a group of deserts near both tropics because of the subtropical high pressure. This makes the air here dry. The location in the interior of the continents, interior meaning inside of the continents, is far from oceanic moisture and can lead to formation of deserts. The vast cold deserts of Asia. The vast cold deserts meaning there's the great extent, to a great extent, the cold deserts of Asia and Great Basin of Western USA are examples. Location on the leeward side. Basically, when we talk about the leeward side, it's like warm, dry air of the high mountains, which gives little or no access to moisture-laden winds, and it can cause deserts. Now, some deserts, what they are talking about is here, Patagonia Desert of Argentina and arid lands of China are formed due to such rain shadow conditions. Rain shadow conditions I have already spoken to you all. The presence of offshore cold water due to cold currents can cause deserts near the coast. The Benguela current has given rise to the Kalahari Desert and Humboldt to the Atacama Desert. Winds which pass over this type of climate, these cold waters reach the land with low temperatures. They become warm as they pass over the land, become dry and make them arid. So this is basically the tropical desert or arid type of climate. This is what I spoke to you all. Now we come to the Mediterranean type of climate. This is one type of climate, students, you all have learned in depth over and over again over a period of time for many years in your previous classes. So this is one type of climate, that's Mediterranean climate. Now, Mediterranean climate, what do we know about Mediterranean climate? What are the unique features of Mediterranean climate? The unique winter concentration of rainfall. There's maximum impact of shifting wind and pressure belts. There's maximum variety of local winds. Over here in Mediterranean type of climate, you all will see the largest orchids of the world. These are the fruit orchids. There's higher production and exports of citrus fruits which comes from the citrus family, that's sweet lime, oranges, all of that, tangerine, all of that comes under this. So there's highest production and exports of citrus fruit over here. Then Mediterranean type of climate, there's lots of information which is available and knowledge there about this type of climate. They are largest vineyards in the world, highest production of grapes and raisins, viticulture as a traditional occupation. There is highest production and consumption and exports of wine, a typical sclerophyllous vegetation. Then there's the olive tree, Mediterranean type of climate, olive plant, olive tree. There's largest production and export of olive oil. The global Mediterranean type of climate is over here. You all can see through this map. This is one of the most favored climates in the world. It is very limited and is found generally between 30 to 45 degrees on the western sides of the continents. There are mild wet winters with about 350 to 900 millimeters of rain and hot dry summers. This climate, the Mediterranean climate, what we are talking about, is ideal for agriculture. We've seen different kinds of practices which take place because favorable climate in the world. There's growing high price crops such as grapes and other fruits, early vegetables like tomatoes and asparagus, oranges and lemons, peaches, apricots and olives. So it's favorable for growing so many vegetables. The kind of animals out here, the cattle and sheep are raised on the higher and slightly less fertile soils. They produce the usual meat, skins, and wool, and also products such as cheeses, which fetch high prices in Western markets. You all are well aware in Western countries, there are thousands of varieties of cheeses which are being produced and sold all over the world under different brand names, famous brands. Now, what is the Mediterranean here? Basically, we'll study about this. Mediterranean, basically, it's a location which lies between 30 to 40 degrees north and south. So, mostly found in the Mediterranean lower. The temperature is known as warm to hot, the dry summers, mild to cold, and wet winters. The precipitation is very dry during summer months and wet during winter months. The vegetation is basically the plants in Mediterranean climate must be able to survive long dry summers. Here, what are the influences of the climates? There are large bodies of water which keeps it cool in the summer months and mild in winters. So here we are going to understand this table is important where you'll have to study all the different types of climate. So what is the geographical distribution over here when we talk about the western coastal location between 30 degrees to 40 degrees north and south, Central California borders of Mediterranean Sea, Cape Town, South Africa, southern and southwest Australia, central part of Chile. Now, what are the climatic characteristics as I have told you all in my previous slides? To sum it up, what is it? It's mild, moist winters. The temperature is around 10 degrees to 14 degrees. I already told you all there are a lot of water bodies in and around. So it makes a lot of difference. There are dry summers. The temperature is around 21 degrees to 27 degrees. It's quite sunny. It's pleasant basically. High summer diurnal temperature range. Diurnal temperature range again means which is active at daytime. The winter rainfall is 500 to 1000 millimeters. There are foggy coasts. There's alternation between subtropical highs in summer and westerlies in winter. We all are aware of westerlies and easterlies. Now, what are the related features as I told you all? Typically scrub, but also forest leaves are evergreen. What kind of forest? The leaves are evergreen, hard, thick, leathery, and very small, usually small. There is coniferous vegetation in higher altitudes, that's at greater heights, grass in areas of low rainfall, winter sown grains. I told you about olives, olive plant, olive trees, grapes, citrus fruits, animal husbandry. Now, what is animal husbandry? Put it in simple terms, basically it's the practice of animal care of farm animals like sheep, goats, dogs, all of those, breeding and farming. So basically here we can talk about, say that animal husbandry also refers to livestock rearing, which has its controlled cultivation, management and production of domestic animals. What does that mean? Animal husbandry in short, it is controlled cultivation, management and production of domestic animals. So that's there. Then there's favorable climate which leads to development of tourism. There's a lot of tourism happening. So it's the places in and around having Mediterranean climate attract a lot of tourists all over the world. Cinema industries, particularly California. So this is what we spoke about the mid-latitude region, that is the Mediterranean climate. This is more information about the arid climate. Here, the most of these deserts are found along the 30-degree latitude line. The temperature, which can range from 30 to minus 130 degrees. The precipitation is more than 10 inches of a rain in a year. The vegetation have roots and are spaced out. Some examples are bushes, cactus. We are aware of the famous plant is cactus bushes, which are there in the deserts. And what are the influences? I already told you all about the rain shadow effect and the dry air patterns. It is in my brief explanation what I had given you all, what I spoke to you all about arid climates is also known as deserts. So on an average, arid regions receive less than 25 centimeters of rain per year. It only specializes plants and animals which can survive. Most of or much of California's southeast, including Death Valley and Mojave's desert, has an arid climate. What is a semi-arid climate? We are going to learn about semi-arid also. So semi-arid regions, they are located on the edges of the desert. So they have a semi-arid climate, which are at the edges of the desert. These semi-arid areas are called steppes or steppes. They may also be called prairie or grasslands. The Great Plains are the major steppe regions of the United States. The portions of southeastern California are considered as semi-arid. Look at these climatic regions. If you look at the Indian map, this is at the highland. This is desert type of climate, semi-arid. You all can look at that. Tropical wet and dry and tropical wet climates. Coming to the China type of climate. Now we are going to study about the China type of climate. That's also mid-latitude regions, China type of climate. Now the major difference between the Mediterranean and the China type is that the Mediterranean is found on the western margins of the continents, while China type is found on the eastern parts, mostly in same latitudes. You will find that rainfall is occurring throughout the year. Here they've given you two places, Brisbane in Australia and Shanghai in China, two graphs, and they are trying to compare these two places from different countries. And the questions related to this are basically explained in geographical explanations, and they can be related to the climatic characteristics and the features. China type of both the regions receive winter moisture from cyclonic storms, but in summers, China type receives rainfall from conventional showers. They are subject to tropical storms. So this type of climate, China type of climate or humid subtropical climate, is subject to tropical storms. Now basically when we talk about the subtropical climate, what is it? We'll get into some detail about the humid subtropical climate. The humid subtropical climate is found on the east coast of continents which are between 20 to 40 degrees north and south of the equator. The southeast United States is a good example of this climate. Basically, Florida has a humid subtropical climate. Now, humid subtropical climate, if we talk about, or the China type climate, is basically known for hot humid summers and mild winters. During the summer, the average temperature is between 80 degrees. The coldest month usually averages between 45 to 50 degrees. The natural vegetation, how is the natural vegetation over here in subtropical areas? They are evergreen trees, bushes and shrubs. They are not the hardy evergreen trees like pine and spruce. Most of these are more delicate. When we talk about humid subtropical, we need to know these points. The warmest temperate marine climates are along the edges of the tropics. The humid subtropical climates, what are they? They are wet and warm. They are not as constantly hot as the tropics. The southeastern United States has a humid subtropical climate. Here the summers are hot with more rainfall than winters, and the winters are cool to mild with more rain than snow. Now here we'll understand what is the geographical distribution. Where is it distributed? In Southeast USA, Southeast South America, coastal Southeast South Africa, Eastern Australia, Eastern Asia, through South China to Southern Japan, Easter Island and Chile. The warmest months above 10 degrees, coldest between 0 degrees and 18 degrees. These are the climatic characteristics. There is frost in winter. Their year-round precipitation is between 600 to 2500 millimeter. The humid onshore air movement and summer cyclonic storms in winter. What are the related features over here? They are mixed forests. There's no one kind of forest. There are some grasslands also. There are pines in higher altitudes. What kind of crops are grown over here? Rice, wheat, corn, cotton, tobacco, sugarcane, citrus, fruits. So the next type of climate what we'll go to after China type or humid subtropical climate is the marine west or Europe type climate. Now when we talk about the marine west type of climate, here they've compared Portland and USA with Melbourne and Australia. If you look at this map, you'll come to know which countries come under this marine western Europe type of climate. Now here when we talk about the West European type of climate, we are going to understand basically where is it located and at what degrees. Located in western parts of continents from 45 degrees to 65 degrees, north and south. So it's between 45 to 65. The western coastal USA, Canada, southern Alaska, southern Chile, southern East Australia, North New Zealand and western Europe is there. Considering the latitudes and the proximity to the sea and prevailing onshore make the climate temperate. Annual temperature which ranges, they are relatively small. Here the winters are mild, students, because of warm ocean currents. For example, the North Atlantic drifts brings warm tropical waters to the European coastal areas. What are the related features of the marine west European type of climate? Year round there are short green grasses. Trees shed their leaves during winter. What kind of forest does it have? Coniferous forests. What kind of vegetation? Wheat, rye, pasture and grazing animals are there. And there are coastal fisheries. So till now what I've completed, what I've spoken about is Mediterranean type of climate. I've spoken about China type, humid subtropical type of climate and tropical desert or arid type of climate. Now here when we are going to talk about is the taiga or the subarctic type of climate. Over here when you all talk about the subarctic region, if you all see, this plays a great role in the climate. The latitudinal location plays a great role in the climate. The low temperatures, here in this type of climate, there are low temperatures which reduce the moisture holding capacity of the air, leading to low rainfall. If the locations are away from the seas, they are again deprived of moisture. So there is no moisture at all. In southern hemisphere, a few settlements exist and there is no permanent human settlement beyond this region. Over here when I talk about the subarctic climate, let's understand some features or characteristics. The subarctic climate stretches from inland Alaska across northern Canada to Newfoundland. In Eurasia, that's Europe plus Asia, subarctic climate is in most of Scandinavia, almost all of Russia, and it reaches south into northern Mongolia and China. Now, subarctic regions are located inland away from the oceans. The subarctic climate is found only in the northern hemisphere between 50 degrees to 70 degrees north. So, with this at least let's understand what is the geographical distribution of this type of climate. It's high mid latitudes which is between 55 degrees to 65 degrees. Northern North America, this type of climate, where do we see? As I told you, Scandinavia, Eurasia, most of Siberia to the Bering Sea and Sea of Okhotsk. What are the climatic characteristics over here? because it's at extreme poles. So you will see brief cool summers, temperature around 15 degrees to 20 degrees. There are bitterly cold winters. The temperature is less than 0 degrees. There is year-around precipitation around 300 to 500 millimeters in summers, snowfall in winter. There is heavy cloud cover, high humidity. So all forms of precipitation is there. There is drizzle, there's fog, there's frost, cold winters. There are westerlies in summer. There are strong polar anticyclones in winter Asia. And there is this continental location. What are the features of this? You will see coniferous forests, that's at northern coniferous forests, soft and light wood. They are strongly acidic soils and there's poor drainage. There's short growing season because of the extreme climates, experimental vegetables and root crops. There are animals with fur. There is hunting and lumbering, collection of wood basically. So now if you look at the picture, you will understand what subarctic seasons mean. The subarctic climate only has two seasons, winter and summer. A cold and harsh winter lasts for most of the year. Below freezing temperatures last for 6 to 8 months. This is the situation, students, in this season, in this climate. Subarctic winter has the lowest average temperature outside of Antarctica. The summer is usually 2 or 3 months long with cool to mild temperatures. Sometimes summer only lasts for 1 month. So throughout the year it is 90% it is cold because the summers are also very cool. Not many plants basically thrive in the long winters of subarctic climates. As I told you all about the features and the climatic characteristics, so definitely there's vegetation. There are some shrubs, grasses, ferns, wildflowers and berries which can be found in the short summer. They are hardy evergreen trees like pine, subalpine, fir and both black and white spruce which fill the forest in this climate. The subarctic forests are called taiga. So the taiga type of climate is also called the subarctic forest. Which are the other trees? Paper birch, quaking aspen and willows thrive in the summer months. So this gives us some information about the taiga or the subarctic region type of climate. Now, what animals live in the subarctic climate? If you look at the fur animals, as we spoke about, black and grizzly bears, bald eagles, wolves, bobcats. There are many herding animals like moose, caribou, elk, reindeer, musk oxen, mountain goats, Dall sheep and deer which survive the cold winters. Most of them are fur animals. Small animals such as snowshoe hares, beavers, river otter, mice, rats, lemmings, voles and squirrels find homes in the subarctic regions. Basically, there are some predators also. As they said, these predators either store up food in the summer and hibernate, means a long sleep, or they follow the herds of other animals to find food during the long winter months. Then there aren't many reptiles in this climate because they can't adapt to the harsh cold. So this climate, the subarctic or the taiga region, does not have, most of them are, there are no reptiles. Mosquitoes swarm up in the summer. So this gives us a brief idea about the animals which live in the Arctic climate, the characteristics, the features, what type of daily functioning is there, how does human life exist. You all can understand through the type of climate and the characteristics which are mentioned. So in short, we have covered the taiga, we've covered the China type or humid subtropic climate, the Mediterranean climate, and I have covered the tropical desert or arid type of climate. Thank you, class.